Checkmate. That's how you win a game of chess. So you need to know how to give checkmate. Other videos will show you how to give checkmate with a queen, or a rook, or some of the other pieces. In this set of videos, I will show you some final positions, some pictures of checkmate, so you know what you are aiming for. You have to trap the king. Fortunately, the king can only move one space at a time, but if we are going to give checkmate, we have to attack the king as well. We have to control 9 squares. But if the king is on the edge, it's only 6 squares. And if the king is in the corner, then it's only 4 squares. So it's going to be easier if we can force the enemy king onto the edge of the board, or better still, the corner. Okay, let's look at some positions. And so far in this series of videos, we've looked at positions where the enemy king is on the edge of the board. In this video, we're going to look at a few ways you can checkmate the enemy king when it's off the edge. We know it's more difficult, because there are 8 ways for the king to run, and that makes our job harder. But if you're one of those players that likes to promote a few pawns, then this arrangement works. And you can replace any or all of these queens with rooks, and the black king is still trapped. Another thing we can do is to use a rook or queen to make a barrier like the edge of the board. Here the white rook stops the black king moving to the 8th rank, and so normal edge of the board checkmates work, like this one or this one. In fact, in this position, sometimes we don't have the rook, but the black king's retreat could be blocked by his own army. This kind of position is quite important to remember. If your queen is next to the enemy king, and your queen is defended, then the only squares that aren't covered are these 2 squares a knight's move away from the queen. It doesn't matter where the king is, it's checkmate here too. And these 2 squares don't have to be blocked by enemy pieces. They could be attacked by your pieces, like a bishop, or a pawn, or a knight. And it makes no difference if your queen is next to the enemy king diagonally. All squares are covered, except for these 2, because the queen is not a knight. These 2 squares could be blocked by enemy pieces, or they could be attacked by one of your pieces, like a bishop, or a knight, or even a rook. Here the rook is actually defended by the queen. Finally, let's look at a couple of ways you can use 2 queens in the middle of the board. Here's the first. The queens defend each other and cover all the possible escape squares. And here's the second, with the queens on the same diagonal. Again, the queens defend each other and cover all the possible escape squares.